Hey everybody, today we are talking about overeating and how to stop overeating. I want to start with a little caveat and say that if you are in the early stages of your disordered eating recovery or really messed up food relationship recovery or overtraining recovery, you may find that you really do have big hunger, and this is normal and you're going to overeat sometimes. And this is completely fine. I don't want you to restrict yourself or think that you only have to stick with your 1500 calories, because this is a really ridiculously low number of calories for all women. I want you to honor your hunger and eat as much as you need. But what I'm going to talk about today is for those of you who maybe are over this recovery phase and are still wondering, why am I still overeating? So this happened to me a lot and happens to a lot of my clients, that sometimes they would go out to a party, for example, and then they just can't stop eating there. There's so many good things and they haven't had them in a long time, and so now they feel that no matter how hard they try, they end up overeating or even binging. So how do you avoid that kind of overeating? By the way, binging doesn't mean eating 2 cookies. Sometimes people say, I had a huge binge because I ate 2 cookies and 2 pieces of chocolate. No, this is not binging. Binging is eating thousands and thousands of calories in one sitting. I want to give you a super simple ABC system. ABC, because this is how you can remember it really well. Each letter stands for a specific word that I want you to remember. So we're going to start with the C and then move to the B and then finish with an A. The first letter is C, and that stands for calories. It's so important that you eat a good amount of calories if you want to avoid those overeating episodes or those binging episodes. As long as your calories are not enough for you over the long period of time, you're going to have those overeating episodes. And this is exactly what happened to me a lot and has happened to many of my clients as well. If you are trying to stay on that 1400 calories plan or diet, or even 1600 calories plan or diet, and at the same time you are physically active, you are exercising like an hour a day, this is not enough calories for you, and this is what's going to lead to a binge or an overeating. So if you're getting enough calories over the period of time and consistently, there's way smaller chance that you ever want to overeat, because you're not starving yourself. If you're giving your body what it needs most of the time, then it does not just build up this big hunger. So the first C stands for calories. Then we're moving on to B, and B stands for balance. And what do I mean when I say balance? By balance, I mean that there should be a good balance between the really highly nutritious foods and then the not so highly nutritious foods. Let's just call them fun foods. These are the things that you really like, but they are not absolutely essential for your physical health, but they might be essential for your mental health. And when I say that there should be a good balance between the two, it doesn't actually mean that you should be eating the same amount of those fun foods as you eat the whole and healthy foods. I mean that there should be more like a balance where you eat mostly of those really nutritious and very healthy foods, and then sprinkle in a little bit of those fun foods. It's really important that we allow ourselves those fun foods, because when we are super restrictive about them, we already know what happens, exactly that overeating or even binge eating happens. So for me, these foods in the past were chocolate or cheese or nuts, a lot of sweet things that I never let myself to have. Those were the fun foods, because I thought that I have to be eating super clean all the time. So because I never had those things, those fun foods, then when I was faced with them, because you always will be eventually, you cannot keep running away from them forever, then you're gonna really overeat them. You cannot stop because you haven't had that good balance. So there has to be some fun foods in your diet. Now, on the other hand, what happens to a lot of people who have only fun foods in their diet is that they also will overeat, because a lot of times these fun foods can trigger you this feeling that you want to eat more of them. We just cannot deny that this is how the food industry works. This is how they design their foods, so that you want more of them. So when I say that there should be a good balance between the whole and natural and real foods and then the fun foods, I actually mean that the majority should be the healthy nutrition foods and then sprinkled in some fun foods. Because if there's no balance, then we are going to overeat eventually. And the last letter A, that stands for awareness. It's really important that we are aware and that we get to know our hunger and fullness signals. If we are not aware, if for example we're eating always super rushed, or if we don't pay attention to what is in our foods or how the food makes us feel, or when we are full, then we will overeat. Have you had this feeling where you realize that, oh my goodness, I'm absolutely stuffed? How did that happen? Well, that happened because you were probably not aware. You ate super fast without paying any attention, and it's really easy to overeat that way. Again, I want to say that if you are in the phase where you are still recovering, where you are maybe experiencing this extreme hunger, then it's harder to maintain this awareness. And it's actually okay, because your body's hunger signals are just so strong because you've been starving for a long time. So let that happen. Eat what you need to eat. But then later, when your body is restored and your metabolism is much healthier, it's really important that we start incorporating more awareness. And that can look like asking yourself a question: am I full now? Should I stop? Or also, when you see like your favorite treat on a table, you can ask yourself, do I actually want it, or am I going to eat it just because it's there? Or you can also ask yourself, okay, do I even like this food that I'm eating, or I'm just eating it because I feel like I have to, because somebody made it for me, right? So the awareness is another important thing that we have to pay attention to if we don't want to overeat. So real quick, one more time, it's an ABC, 3 simple letters to remember. We started from the C. It has to start with the calories. Your calories you have to have enough calories in your diet. If you don't have enough calories, there's a way higher chance that you're going to overeat. Then we had the B, which stands for balance between the highly nutritious foods and then the fun foods. And remember, the balance doesn't mean that you're having them in equal amounts. You should be having more of the highly nutritious foods for the health benefits, but also don't forget to add in some of the fun foods. And then the last letter, A, stands for awareness. You have to learn to be aware of what you're eating, how much you're eating, and not in an obsessive way, not like in a judgmental way, but in a curious way. Am I full? Should I stop? Do I want some more? Do I even want this? Why am I eating this? Sometimes checking in with yourself and asking these questions so that you're understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it. And if you follow this ABC system, it's going to be much easier to avoid overeating and eat in amounts that satisfy you, and also eat the foods that truly satisfy you and that you like, because you are supposed to like your foods. If you like this video, or if you're listening to it on the podcast, then it would be really helpful if you left a review, or if you gave me a thumbs up if you're watching it on YouTube, because that will help other people to find these videos as well. So thank you so much already for leaving a review or leaving your comments and giving me a thumbs up, and I will be back here again soon. Thanks so much, and talk to you later.